Hey everyone, this is Kirk here again at Option Alpha. In this video, I want to walk through how we can possibly use some different variables to get our orders filled faster. Now, we get a lot of questions around this. People are always super nervous about their bots trying to enter trades and then they don't get filled for some reason. And so they always ask questions around how to get orders filled faster. Now, the one major caveat before I start going through this and start walking through some different things you can do is, of course, you don't always need to have your order filled faster. If you have your order filled faster, that doesn't always mean it's a better trade or a better order. There's always better trades potentially on the horizon the next day. There's always another trading opportunity where you could readjust the strikes or get in at a better price. So please don't think that you have to force positions into the market. Trust me, there's always another trading opportunity that you can get into. So just be patient with your trades. You don't want to force trades in. But if you do want to find some ways to get some trades filled faster and you're okay potentially taking a little bit lower price or a little bit more slippage in order to get that opportunity in, I want to show you how you can do that here in this video. So let's just really quickly look at a couple of my canceled trades so you can see what I'm talking about with people who look at their positions and they're like, what the heck? I thought that my bot was going to enter a position and it didn't get filled. I've had this too. I've gone through this too. These are all my live trades so you can see how they work for me and potentially things that you could do to get the position in faster. So if I go under my status of canceled positions here, these are all positions that are live positions because I toggled on live positions that my bots have attempted, but that actually canceled means that they never got filled. So they might have tried one price, multiple prices, tons of prices throughout the day, but they never got filled. And so you can see here that it was trying for an XRT short call spread and some DIA short call spreads recently and just never got filled on these positions. And for some of these, you can actually open up the actual logs here and see exactly what it was attempting. In this case, this Iron Condor for TLT, you can see that I gave it a lot of leeway to try a lot of different prices. It was trying 92 and 91 and 90 and 89. And it tried all these prices working through the bid-ask spread, but actually never got filled on the position. And in this case for TLT, you can see that it attempted this multiple times on the same day. So the same position it was trying over and over and over and over again to get in, just never got a position filled. And so this can be frustrating for sure. I know I go through this myself too, where I'm like, hey, I see an opportunity, I just can't get filled, I can't get into the market for whatever reason. So how can I improve or get my orders filled faster, okay? So here's what you can potentially do for your trades. So in this case, let's look at the TLT bot that I was just looking at that had those canceled positions that wasn't filling those trades on that particular day. And we can go over to the settings, and wherever you have your smart pricing settings, your open position action, that's where you'd want to potentially start making some of these adjustments. So in this case, for this bot, I have a bot input that uses smart pricing. So I'll just go down to that smart pricing input, and then we can start to mess around with some of the settings that it has here. So here you can see I use this global entry smart pricing setting that all the positions use for my Hexabot. So if I go in here, and I can actually start to use this smart pricing setting for entry, and I can start to adjust it. Now, in this case for TLT, and you saw this probably in those positions here, you saw that I was using patient smart pricing, which allows up to 5 prices, and it allows 20 seconds of spacing between those prices. Now, this is the first way that you can change your smart pricing settings to try to get faster pricing. What I am doing deliberately here with this particular bot is I'm allowing the bot to be extra patient and let the market kind of come to me, which means that I don't always get filled on positions it attempts, and I'm okay with that. But if you want to get into positions a little bit faster, you could adjust your smart pricing settings to fast. Now, if you adjust your smart pricing settings to fast, that's going to try less prices, so you're not going to try as many prices, and they will be quicker to cancel and replace the orders, which means that you're going to get to a market or near mid price a lot faster in your sequence of smart pricing. You're not going to let orders sit for 20 seconds as the market kind of moves. You're going to get to orders really, really fast. So that's the first thing I would suggest is go down to fast smart pricing settings, that again, if you want to get your orders filled a little bit faster. The next thing that you can do is you can allow more leeway for smart pricing to work through the entire bid-ask spread. Now be careful with this, because if your bid-ask spread is really wide, you're going to allow smart pricing to go really far through the bid-ask spread. And that means more slippage for your position. Now you can do this in one of two ways. And that's really a cool thing that you can do inside of smart pricing is you can do it in a percentage basis. So you could say, all right, I'm going to allow it to go 85% of the bid-ask spread, or some people allow it to go 100% of the bid-ask spread. Now, again, be careful, because if the bid-ask spread is $1 wide, you're basically telling the bot, hey, you've got control to go $1 wide if you need to. That doesn't mean you're going to get filled at the worst price, but you're basically exchanging speed and filling for price, and that's, again, one of those ways you get filled faster on positions. What I like to do, if you don't want to use the percentage or don't want to use a percentage you're comfortable with, is you can actually use the slippage from the mid. Now, this helps control those really wide spreads that happen randomly throughout the day for positions. So you could say something like, look, I'm comfortable with 6 cents of slippage from the mid. Now, again, that doesn't mean that you're going to always have 6 cents of slippage. It's always going to try for better prices. But in the worst case scenario, you're going to be 6 cents off of the mid price of a wide spread. So if a wide spread is $1 wide, the mid price is 50 cents, you're only going to be 56 cents, or you're going to be 44 cents on either end. So depending on which side of the trade you're on, you're going to allow some slippage up to 6 cents of the mid. So that would be an easy, very quick way to, again, control the positions that you have and get positions filled faster than you might have if you're trading something else. Now, another way, and I'll just cancel out these orders and changes, another way that you could, again, ensure that you're getting filled onto the right positions is you could do some filtering for liquidity. This is a really cool thing that you can do inside of Option Alpha, and we encourage you to do this because it allows you to pre-filter for liquidity. I do this a lot inside of my opportunity filters and my pre-entry checks for my hexabots and all the other bots that I run. But I do some here where they are specifically looking for liquidity over a certain threshold. And what this allows me to do is it allows me to ensure that before I even get to the point of placing a trade and sending orders to my broker, that there's enough liquidity, however you define it. Now, in this case, I like to use something like open interest or volume of a position, and I can put that in here as a checkpoint before I get to an open position action. Here you can see this is at the pass opportunity filters, and that's right before I get to the yes action to actually open a position. And here you can see I'm checking to make sure the open interest is greater than some threshold that I've set. If you wanted to, you could also change some of these conditions here, and you could use other criteria for particular legs. You can check exact legs. In this case, the target position that I'm getting into, I'm going to check the open interest of that leg. But you could also check the volume of that particular leg as well and make sure it's over some amount or not less than some amount. Whatever works for you so that you get a good idea of where that open interest is for the position. You could also check the bid-ask spread. That's a good way to kind of normalize a lot of things. If there's a tight bid-ask spread, that generally means there's more liquidity for the position as opposed to other positions. So you could use the bid-ask spread as well as another check for your position. So I'm going to switch this back here to open interest and then continue on. Now, another way that you can, again, check for this in just a different way if you wanted to is you can check it inside the actual open position action. So here you can actually go down to position criteria and you can check to make sure that the bid-ask spread is less than, let's say, 20 cents. Now, this would filter out any positions where you get to an open position, everything checks out, but then the bid-ask spread is a little bit wider. It's going to filter that out. It's not even going to attempt trades until the actual criteria are met for your position. Now, this is good because it means that you're not going to see a lot of canceled orders, but it also means sometimes you won't see orders going through because the markets are just too wide. You can see that in your logs. You can double check all this stuff. You can see where those kind of thresholds are for different tickers and adjust as you go. But that would be another place that you could go to make sure that you're entering positions with a really tight spread, lots of liquidity that will ensure that you get a better chance of filling that trade as you move forward. So those are kind of the major levers that you can pull and push inside of your bots and platform to get your positions filled a little bit faster. Again, checking for liquidity, which we just did here, whether that's a bid-ask spread or open interest or volume or some combination of those, that will always help out more so than anything else. Just trade generally more liquid products than other illiquid products. And then the other thing is you can send orders over faster, and you can allow for a little bit more slippage. Now, this is always the double-edged sword of getting orders filled faster, is that the faster the order gets filled, the potentially worse the price is that you paid or you received for that position. So that slippage is something that you have to control on your own and whatever works best for you. Personally, I like to enter my trades A lot of patience, a lot of order types that go through, a lot of price attempts, and not so much slippage. I would rather get into a great order and take my time with it than rather rush an order. But again, I know that sometimes you're making a trade and it's really important that you get that position filled. This is how you would do it. Make those trades go through faster, smart pricing, allow for more flexibility through the bid-ask spread or more slippage, and then double check for liquidity on the way in. So I hope this really helped out. As always, if you have any questions, let me know. And until next time, happy trading.